So a little bit of self-knowledge goes a long way when it comes to getting what you pray for. And, let's be clear. We live in a creative environment. The world we live in is only an appearance of something that underlies the world. And that underlying strata or element of the world is creative. It's a creative mind, a creative intelligence. So we're constantly thinking into that, and it's continually giving back to us what we think into it. But being the physical plane, and I'm getting metaphysical on you now. In the physical plane, there's a time lag. And thank God for that. Because just imagine what it would be like if everything manifested like that. We'd be screwed because we'd get scared, we'd worry about something, and then boom, there it would be. So there's a time lag, and that time lag tends to keep everything in its present condition. It takes time to change something because it's always feeding back to us a stable image of what's here. And I'm not saying that the world's not real. I'm not saying that at all. This stuff, that's solid. That's really solid. You can't bang your head into a wall without it hurting, right? But that's the nature of the thing. It's still feeding back to us what we're thinking into it. And then there's the consensus thinking, right? The mass mind, and that exists on many levels. So, hierarchically, you have some people in the earth and in your life whose thinking actually is more powerful than yours because they're more finely, there's more resolution in their thoughts. And there are lots of people who just tend to go along with what those kinds of people are thinking, right? They kind of set the pace and everybody follows along. So it takes a lot of courage, actually, and a lot of imagination, and a lot of really getting clear with yourself, who you are, what you're about, to break out of that mind. You see, it's like a trap. It really holds people in it because, number one, it's predictable, it's familiar, so you feel safer. Even if it's shitty, you feel safer because you know what to expect. It's like that saying, the better the devil you know than the devil you don't know, which is why change is so difficult, because we don't like the unknown, right? We like the known. We don't like the unknown. That can get in the way of your prayers. So the other thing that can get in the way of your prayers is just this innate knowledge we have that in order to get something that we don't have right now, we're going to have to give up something that we do have right now, because it's like we have a configuration that is adjusted to our energy level and our acceptance level. We're only able to accept so much. So if we want to change something big like the home, that's a major category. If we want to change that, something big has got to change. You got to move out of the house you're in. And that's scary. Or like if you want a good relationship, that means all the other relationships in your life are going to have to change. And if you want a better relationship that you have with a person right now, one or the other or both of you are going to have to change in fundamental ways because something's not aligned, right? So that change will get in the way of getting your prayers answered. So that if something comes along that you do want, and it's going to be harder to do because you're not being honest with yourself, you're not clear in yourself. So this is a very big deal. It's why I'm going on and on about it. It's like, are you willing to accept the thing you think you want? That's number one question. Are you willing to accept the thing that you think you want? And is what you think you want in alignment with what you really want? And so knowing what that is, probably the most important thing in life, knowing what you want.